Hi, this is Christa Rimmer, and I am going to be talking a little bit about Ball'z Palsy. I was diagnosed with Ball'z Palsy 3 months ago, and a little over 3 months at the beginning of April, and it is now June 26th, and there hasn't really been that much improvement. I wear the eye patch, so kind of like a honorary pirate, and I joke about being a pirate a lot. Really, the eye patch is to protect my eye from anything hitting my eye because it doesn't close. Ball'z palsy, they don't really know much about what causes it. Treating it is going to be standard. They're going to prescribe prednisone, a steroid. And sometimes they'll do like an antiviral that you'll take for a couple of weeks. And this is actually the second time I recorded this. I had already uploaded it to YouTube on about 4 days ago, and it was up there and everything was fine. People are watching it, and then I accidentally deleted it. So there was something on there that obviously wasn't meant to be shared through my friends or family or whatnot. I'm not sure what was on there. I probably did cuss a lot, but and I'm going to try to not say, I did make a joke in the other video that this was a drinking game, and you were listening to how many times I said and taking a drink, that you'll probably be totally shit-faced by the end of this video. So I will try to be conscious of my saying and trying to pull back from that. So I've had Ball'z palsy for over 3 months, and physically what Ball'z palsy is, something happens, they don't know if it's related to the virus that causes chickenpox or shingles. Some say that it is stress related. What it is there's a nerve that comes from here. This is the side that's affected, and it'll be perfectly half of your face. Half will be totally paralyzed. The nerve comes from here. It comes through a hollow bone, the bundle of nerves, and the nerves go to your eye, to here, and to your mouth. A whole big bundle of nerves. And what happens is something attacks that nerve, and the nerve gets inflamed and it swells through, and because it's coming through bone, it has nowhere to go, so it kind of just shuts off all of the nerves that are coming outside of the bone. And your face loses the nerves that pull up the muscle, and all of a sudden all the muscles, and then you've got kind of like this dolly painting thing going on where half of your face is paralyzed. It'll be your eye. You'll notice your eyebrow. That's one of the things they check for, is they have you raise your eyebrows. And when I first had it, my wrinkles were going straight, and then all of a sudden, and then just dropped right off. So that was like the first sign that they look for. And then they have you stick out your tongue. If you have a stroke, your tongue will veer to one side. Mine pretty much goes straight out, but it does, it is paralyzed. So I used to be able to make like a taco, and it kind of does the taco, but it's crooked, and it doesn't go all the way it doesn't close all the way. I could do the cherry stem thing. I had like all these hat tricks, and they're all gone for now. But also your nostrils, you can see here that the nose is kind of, it almost seems like it's kind of tilted, because the muscle that pulls this up here to make it even is dripping down. The eye does not close. I wear eye patch, like when I go in public, usually I'm wearing sunglasses, but if it's nighttime, you look kind of awkward, and so you have to wear eye patch. That's to protect your eye from debris, because it does not close on its own, and will help your eye from drying out. I had Ball'z palsy in 2009, and I thought it had lasted for 3 months, but I saw a Facebook thing come through, and it really had only lasted for 3 weeks. And by the 4th week, I was better. And this time around, it's been a lot worse. There was a lot more pain when it first happened, and it's lasted longer. And psychologically, it's been a lot harder than the first time around. And my eye constantly before I found the Vaseline drops, the ones you're only supposed to use at night for 72 hours, and it's been going on 3 months, those drops with just the regular eye drops, because my eye hangs a lot lower than this eye, those drops don't really work, the regular eye drops for a dry eye. So it'll feel like, I compared it to like having, like you're at the beach and you have pink eye and there's like a crab with a hot knife and it's stabbing you in your eye. I know I had to be a crab, but whatever. But it just really, really hurts. It's painful. So I found the Vaseline drops and I use those religiously, and you can't really go anywhere, especially Arizona. It is just hotter than hell here, so you have to have fans. You have to have air conditioning blowing air in your eye, so you have to do something to protect the eye to keep it moist. At night, your eye, you think your eye is closed at night, but if you don't tape your eye shut, it's going to be open all night, so things can get in it, but also it can dry out and you can get a corneal tear, and that could lead to infection and you can lose your eyeball. So make sure that you're taping your eye shut every night. There are a lot of videos on Ball'z Palsy on YouTube, and believe me, the first few days or a week that you have Ball'z Palsy, you will stay up till 2, 3 in the morning and you will look at every Ball'z Palsy video that you can get your hands on, trying to find some answers, trying to find hope, seeing people heal in a few weeks. There are some videos of people that took a year, 2 years to heal. Like I said, the first time I had it, it was only 3 weeks. This time it's been over 3 months. So every time is different. I do believe that stress has a factor in the duration of the illness. When you go to the doctor, they really won't know much about Ball'z Palsy. When I went to my doctor, he was Googling it right in the office, which was not my favorite, but he was Googling it, looking it up. So kind of at that point, I knew more than he did about Ball'z Palsy, just because he does, general, and I focused in on that one thing because that's what I was suffering from. So they will typically make the same recommendations, that it's just time. Time heals all wounds, and take the prednisone. Prednisone, I'm all about being holistic, but I did go the science route. I love science, and I did take the steroid because that was the quickest way to get the inflammation down. Get the inflammation down. It's a 50-50 whether it does anything for you, but I took the prednisone, and that will get the inflammation, the swelling down. So if you have pain, that will help a lot with the pain once the swelling of the nerves goes down. You can feel your face. I mean, that's not paralyzed. You can still feel it, but it feels like you were, dating Chris Brown, because your whole face feels like you were punched, like perfectly in half. It felt like if I just barely touched, it felt like somebody had just punched me all along my face, because the nerves were that swollen. So prednisone really helped bring the inflammation down. Once the inflammation goes down from the bone there, and the inflammation goes down, then the nerves, the swelling will go down, and the nerves can start reprogramming, essentially, because they kind of, you'll have some nerve damage, and they have to heal and come back. And once the nerves come back, it can start pulling your muscles back up. So that is the physical side of Ball'z Palsy. Also, for me, you can see my mouth it's crooked, but inside, like in your mouth, normally your tongue, because this cheek is hanging on my teeth, when you eat, food will get stuck up in your teeth. And so you have to brush your teeth after you eat, because you'll smell like, a dead corpse, like The Walking Dead. You must brush your teeth because the food will get trapped up there. And your tongue isn't working right to move the food to the back of your throat. So make sure you brush your teeth after you eat, otherwise it won't be pretty. And another thing that I had noticed with your eye not closing for women, the eye sags kind of like over the eyeball, so it pushes down, so it pushes on your eyelashes, and normally if your eyelashes tip up, they just go completely straight, which it's not a big deal, but Normally I don't even put makeup on that eye. And I haven't posted anything on Facebook showing me talking with Ball'z Palsy and what it's affected me, and I certainly haven't posted anything with my eye uncovered. But I thought that it was important to share the entire process of what I've been going through for the past 3 months. Normally I'm pretty reserved. I mean, I share, but I'm normally pretty reserved about the whatever's going on with me personally. For business, I am a hypnotherapist, and I do hypnotherapy and other holistic modalities to help people, teach them how they can take care of themselves and help themselves. And I do voiceovers, and so I use my mouth a lot. And you can see that, like, when I'm talking, you can have all the pop filters you want in the world, but if you're doing a voiceover and you're saying bees, this right here fills with air, and that pop filter is not going to pull that bee out. And because my mouth is because there's nothing holding this side down, so it's able to go up higher, the words I'm not able to pronunciate as clearly as I normally will without Ball'z Palsy. So that kind of eliminates the voiceover work right now. Hypnotherapy, lisp. So when this first started, there was a huge lisp. So I was very concerned about working with clients and having this really, really bad lisp, let alone kind of disconcerting to have this eye patch, and maybe that's just my personal perception, that it's hard for people to see the eye patch and be able to relax or not understand. With my personality, because I joke all the time, it's immediately assumed that it's a joke and that it's meant to be funny. And I do try to be funny. That's what makes me happy. But in a therapist setting, it might not be as appropriate. The eye patch has been almost a kind of way for me to hide what's really going on with me. And I think a lot of times we go through trials, and sometimes it's easy to share, and some are ones that you just feel like you need to rein in and kind of push through on your own. And I've always been one to push through on my own. The reason why I'm sharing this video is because I know there are a lot of people that have Ball'z Palsy or had Ball'z Palsy, or that are going through something that is challenging for them. And one of the things that we don't do enough of is take care of ourselves. I say this at least 3 times in every session I've had with a client. You must take care of yourself. You must take care of yourself. That is the priority. You are no good to your family, your children, your work, your school. You're no good if you're half empty, if you've been putting everything out to everybody else, but you're not taking care of yourself. And I say it all the time, and when it came to me, for some reason, I did the steroids, I went to acupuncture, I did that 4 times. If you go for the acupuncture, go for it right at the beginning. The sooner you can get it, the better. Go right at the beginning, and it's something you have to do continuously. But all the things I would normally do for myself, the hypnotherapy on myself, the meditation, the aromatherapy, visualization, any of the modalities that I do, all the things I would recommend to a client, I just didn't do for myself. And that was kind of a wake-up call of, why would I recommend this to a client and I'm not practicing what I preach? So one of the things is the eye. So the eye, it's my hair. The eye hangs a lot lower than the other eye. So physically you're going to have, your eye is going to dry out. Like when I close my eye, it's not all the way closed. And one of the things they call it Ball'z Palsy phenomenon is that when I close my eye, the eye, you can kind of see it goes like it goes to the top of your head, kind of like Mad-Eye Moody. So I can tell my son I really do have eyes in the back of my head, but it kind of goes up in the air, and that's to protect your eye, protect your iris. But for me, on the inside, when I do that, it feels, because my eye's pointing up to darkness, it feels like my eye is closed, but it's not. So that's why it's really important to keep your eye covered, and especially at night when you're sleeping, because that's, 8 hours of good sleep. That's 8 hours of your eye being exposed. So you want to make sure that you keep it covered. So I had recorded my original video on Tuesday, and now it's Sunday, and I have to re-record this. So I have done some work since I originally recorded, but I wanted to have this primary day one video to talk a little bit about what Ball'z Palsy is and some of the concerns that people might have with it, and also my own journey with taking care of myself and really taking that time out. When it first happened, I had this thought in my head that, like, who would I be without my face, is what it came through, is who would I be without my face? And I kind of laughed, because that's not that's not how I think at all. I don't think about me being a face or anything. I thought that's ridiculous. I'm Christa. I'm always going to be Christa. Then when this happened, and usually it starts off, and typically the first couple days it gets a little bit worse. And looking at myself in the mirror, I thought, oh, well, I know this heals in a couple weeks, so I'm not really worried. As the weeks progress and your confidence that it's going to go away, all this other kind of stuff kind of sets in. And I have always been very upbeat. I'm usually happy all the time. I'm usually joking and laughing. I do have all the other regular emotions, but typically I'm joking and happy, and this here has affected me more than I even thought possible. Without even, when you meet someone or somebody that I volunteered a lot in my son's school this past school year, and that last month I wore glasses all the time so people couldn't see your eye, because it kind of looks like a glass eye, or like a dead eye. It just looks maniacal. It just looks crazy. And when I would talk with the kids, all they could see was my mouth, and then it was like, and I looked angry. Look, this is me without smiling. I look angry. I look sad. I look emotional. I look like something's wrong. And I know that we have a perception that people think of things more than they actually do. But I'm also really highly empathic, and when I would talk to people, I could feel, and I'm not saying that everybody felt uncomfortable or was like, release the hounds. I don't think that they were going to grab your pitchforks. I don't think that was like that. I think it was more, they were so used to me laughing and smiling and seeing me with, if I didn't have any expression, if I was just kind of just wanted to get in and get out because I didn't want to go anywhere. If they saw me with no expression, they thought that I was mad or upset, and everybody was like, are you okay? Are you okay? And even if it wasn't like that I made them feel uncomfortable, it was mostly that they felt uncomfortable because they saw that I wasn't, they saw that I was going through something, and maybe they perceived I was in pain. At the beginning it was painful, but mostly it was just uncomfortable. And I'm not sure why, but I could feel their discomfort. And even from like family, it's because you're not used to seeing someone like that, and you don't know, there's nothing you can do, and you feel helpless, and all of these emotions come through, and those are same emotions I have for myself. I felt helpless. I felt that I had no control over my own body. And the face that I didn't think was that big of a deal, it is a big deal. It's a big deal if what makes you happy is making people laugh and making them feel joy, and you can't even smile. Like you can't even smile, and if you try to show teeth, you look like a freaking like chupacabra, because one of your side, your face goes up. And also, like, I haven't laughed, like I laugh at my own jokes all the time. I'm laughing more than the person I'm telling them to, and I haven't laughed since I got Ball'z Palsy. And the main reason is when you start to laugh, you can feel all the muscles on this side, and you know that the side is dead. You can feel your face kind of contorting into like the Joker, and you can feel it, and so you immediately shut down. You're immediately aware that, wow, on the other side of this, it looks crazy, because this eye goes like all rah, and then this face goes all crazy, and you know that it's pretty intense for the person that's looking at you, and so it makes you shut that part of you down. And to shut down the part of me that that's a huge part of me, is the making people laugh and making them happy, and always joking, and always the self-deprecating humor, and really putting people at ease. That's what I do, and it's been really hard, because I can't even smile. I can't. How am I supposed to put somebody at ease if I can't even find ease within myself? And I think that's just, it makes you feel alienated. And for me, I went to a neurologist a week ago, and I asked him, I said, I've been upset. I go, but if I were to describe my symptoms, like, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to go out. I didn't want to volunteer with my son's school. I didn't want to see friends. I didn't want to, I don't want to do anything. Didn't want to go out of the house, kind of like a hermit, because your face really, I know there's a lot worse situations. I know that people have terrible things happen to them, and that are permanent, and I know that, and I'm not in any way saying that this is even equivalent to what they're going through. But for me, it's been horrible. It's been just like 3 months of a giant shit show, and you isolate yourself, because you're redefining who you are. Like, if I can't make people laugh, or I can't joke, or I can't smile, then like, who am I? Who is Christa? And I think I can still joke on Facebook. I can still make jokes. I can still put jokes up. But one-on-one, it's just been really challenging, and I've had challenging things in my life, and this has been the most mind-wise, it just totally fucks with your head. And if somebody's had Ball'z Palsy, you know. And when you wake up and you look in the mirror and it's still there, and the discouragement and the fighting and the struggle, you understand it. You understand how difficult it is to let go of who you think you are. So I am showing myself without the eye patch, and it was actually a lot worse even when it first happened. But I'm showing what it's like to have Ball's palsy, and what it's like to work through it, because I'm tired of this shit. I'm just really tired of it. And I think the one thing I have not done is this is my lesson. This is my lessons come and go. We all get different challenges. And right now, my challenge is to step over this and learn a new way, and really take time for myself. Ball's palsy is a wait and see game. Like, it can take somebody 3 weeks, it could take them 4 weeks. The doctors will not be able to tell you at all when it's going to go away. They can't. They'll say, well, most cases in 2 months. Yep, but you go on when you're there at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're going through every single video and you're ending with those Die Woodies guys, and they're doing the hoo-hoo, and you're doing the freaking giraffes and all that stuff. When you're doing that at 3 o'clock in the morning because you are freaking out because you don't want to go to work, you don't want to see people, you don't want to talk to anyone. When you're going through all those videos, there's no guarantee on anything. The best thing you can do is manage the stress. Manage the stress, and that comes through self-care. And I didn't do that. I just worried the entire time and didn't do anything about the stress. So this is me, my journey with Ball's palsy, and really taking the time that if my face is a metaphor for anything, it's a metaphor for slowing down, stopping. And sometimes that's what has to happen. Sometimes we have to have a really shitty lesson so that we can, one, understand others and have more compassion and sympathy. And we also have to understand ourselves and who we are, who we claim to be, and who we actually are. And sometimes you get a giant kick in the ass, and it's to tell you, guess what? You need to take care of yourself. You need to put yourself first. So that's what I'm doing. This is day 1 of my journey with Ball's palsy, and the whole time I've been calling it Ball's palsy because you have to have balls to deal with this stuff. Like, it's horrible, and it makes me laugh. And when I call it Ball's palsy, it's kind of like the whole Voldemort thing, like saying his name out loud. And so if I say, it makes me laugh, and it makes me feel like I have a little bit of power and a little bit of control. So join me on my journey with Ball's palsy, and as I take care of myself and learn different ways to take care of myself so I can improve this on my own and take control back of my life. So thank you very much, and for all of you that are going through a struggle, a personal struggle of your own, don't give up. Keep fighting, and don't give up. Thank you very much.